Something unusual is unfolding in this Yellowstone Valley. A crossing used by countless herds, but today, the landscape has an occupant. The grizzly remains absolutely motionless in the shallows. It is not actively hunting, it is waiting. By midday, a herd of cow elk arrives, unaware of the patient predator waiting. The adults test the current with extreme caution. Every step requires balance, forcing them to focus entirely on their footing. The grizzly commits. A calculated ambush, relying entirely on the river's delaying effect. Instantly, the bear aborts the pursuit. For an apex predator, energy management matters. The river yields nothing this time. But the bear keeps waiting. Patience alone is not enough. Eventually, the crossing attracts a different kind of traveler. Without the many eyes of a herd, a solitary animal carries the entire burden of vigilance. Recognizing the explosive speed of a lone deer, the grizzly abandons the direct charge. It opts instead for complete concealment. A displaced stone beneath the surface, or a subtle shift in the wind. Something triggers the buck's survival intuition. The bear's cover is blown. It must close the final distance before the deer can react. A near miss. Hours pass under the bright sun. Then, the rushing sound of the river is joined by a new resonance, a deep vibration traveling through the earth itself. A Yellowstone bison herd. Weighing up to 2,000 pounds each, these giants navigate the landscape with absolute authority. The grizzly watches closely. But predation is a strict calculation of risk versus reward. The direct path brings them straight toward the bear's chosen territory. A lead cow stops. She does not flee. The bear yields. The herd passes uncontested. The crossing remains claimed by the river, and the grizzly returns to its patient vigil. The herd passes uncontested. The giants have passed, but their crossing leaves a permanent mark. Disturbed earth and clouded water broadcast a powerful scent downstream. Drawn by the lingering scent of passage, a new element arrives. A rare meeting of rivals. But contrary to myth, apex predators rarely fight without cause. The risk of injury is simply too high. They form a silent truce. The grizzly adjusts its position. It understands that the wolves will act as beaters, inevitably driving prey straight into the river. Late in the day, another elk herd approaches the crossing. The pack does not attack immediately. The elk are caught between the hammer and the anvil. The water instantly neutralizes their greatest defense, speed. The grizzly does not attack the herd. It targets the mistake. For the rest of the herd, they cannot afford to look back. The wolves observe the outcome from the shore. Contesting a kill with a grizzly in deep water is a risk no wolf will take. But a successful hunt rarely goes unnoticed. In Yellowstone, the sky quickly broadcasts what the river tries to hide. Ravens possess exceptional vision and intelligence. They act as the ecosystem's primary informants. Driven by the risk of discovery, the grizzly forces the massive weight onto the shore. Every yard leaves a permanent mark on the landscape. Exhausted, the predator takes a necessary moment to recover. A sudden shift in the breeze carries a new warning. Something else has answered the raven's call. An older, heavier male grizzly. In nature, the most dangerous competitor is often your own kind. The original hunter is already exhausted. Defending the kill against the heavier, fully rested rival carries a massive risk of severe injury. Biology dictates the final decision. Without striking a single blow, the older male claims the prize. In this ecosystem, sheer power often overrides effort. The original bear retreats to the shadows. It must start over. The change in ownership is closely monitored. Meanwhile, the river continues its relentless flow. The wolves return to assess the crossing, but quickly recognize the shift in hierarchy. The trap is currently occupied by a much more formidable force. The crossing remains exactly as it was. A beautiful, treacherous bottleneck, silently waiting for the next traveler to test its currents. With the original hunter displaced, the older grizzly claims the caloric reward. In Yellowstone, absolute power guarantees access. On the periphery, the original informants wait. But the scavenger hierarchy is strictly enforced by size and weaponry. The arrival of a bald eagle instantly shifts the balance. The ravens immediately yield to the superior predator. The grizzly steps to the river to hydrate. For a brief moment, the prize is left unguarded. This is the exact window a terrestrial scavenger has been waiting for. A Yellowstone coyote makes its move. Leaving food exposed on the open gravel invites endless harassment. Instantly, the scavengers reclaim the gravel. In this ecosystem, absolutely nothing goes to waste. Miles away in the dense timber, the original hunter rests. Survival means accepting defeat and preserving energy for the next opportunity. Back at the main channel, the landscape begins to reset. The river, indifferent to the struggles of giants, continues its relentless flow. The water systematically dismantles the physical evidence of the morning, erasing the panic, the failure, and the success. For the survivors, the trauma of the crossing is fleeting. In nature, there is no time to dwell on narrow escapes, only the immediate necessity to feed and rebuild energy. For the bison, the valley holds few true threats. Their sheer physical mass isolates them from the daily anxieties that govern the lives of every other species. For the original hunter, survival today means accepting failure. The life of an apex predator is defined not by constant victory, but by the relentless management of energy. But the true master of this valley is neither bear, nor wolf, nor bison. It is the terrain itself. A landscape that shapes every decision and demands a toll for every passage. As the midday sun continues to beat down, the valley resets, preparing for the inevitable arrival of the next herd. In Yellowstone, the crossing never chooses its visitors. It only decides how each journey ends.